Don's Wife, Chapter 4. It was barely after 7 in the morning when Kamini's luxury van pulled in through the gates of Shishu Vihar in Pune. Despite going to bed so late, she had woken up early primarily on account of her anxieties related to the party's conference she was going to attend. She had finally woken up by 5:15 and had given her staff only half an hour to get ready. The new bodyguard was instructed to be ready to be picked up from his house when she was on the way. She rushed through her shower and essential packing and was already on the road some 10 minutes before 6. Even the escort jeep had to catch up with her midway. Within minutes of hitting the highway, she had stretched out at the back seat of the Tata Safari she preferred to use on long journeys to catch a few more winks. Hence, she felt reasonably fresh when she entered Pune. Shishu Vihar was always on her agenda whenever she visited Pune. She had set it up virtually on her own some 6 years ago, and it had already become quite a respectable institution as a home for abandoned children. Everybody at Shishu Vihar was taken completely by surprise on seeing her so early. The staff was informed that she would be visiting in the afternoon at tea time. Hence, nobody was expecting her. But then, it was not entirely unusual for her to change her program at the 11th hour. The children were engaged in their morning PT exercise and games when she arrived. She spent half an hour with them and had a whale of a time participating in their activities. She always did. It was a different Kamini always when she was with the children at Shishu Vihar, free, unpretentious and childlike. Lakshman Raoji was just winding up his puja when his wife informed him that they had an unexpected guest for breakfast. He was surprised as to who could be visiting him at that early an hour. Everybody knew that he would be rushing through his chores to be present on time for the inaugural of the party conference at 9. His jaw fell open when he was told that it was Kamini who was waiting for him at the table. Sarla, his portly wife, and sons and daughter-in-law were already singing encomiums about how she stormed into the house well before 8 and barged straight into the kitchen. How, to the horror and awe of the domestics, she had taken charge and in no time had whipped up a breakfast for all and was now waiting for him to dig into the food delicacies along with all of them. Hiding his shock, he chided her mildly for upsetting the plans of her young followers and friends in the party, who had organized an impromptu reception for her at the station itself, counting on her program of traveling by train. Making light of the situation, she remarked good-humoredly that the smell of Thai's cooking had captured her mind as soon as she had woken up in the morning, so straight away she had hit the road. The flattery worked on Sarla, and the breakfast, though hurried in pace, turned into a gratifying small event. However, for unexplained reasons, Lakshman Raoji, who had been her mentor and the chief benefactor in the party, seemed preoccupied throughout, which did not remain unnoticed by Kamini. Kamini quickly changed at the house, and within minutes both her mentor and she were off to the conference, of course, with their separate entourages. Her supporters had caught up with her, and despite her entreaties to the contrary, they had insisted upon accompanying her in a group to the conference venue. They had fallen for her tale about how an 11th hour distress visitor had delayed her for the train and hence she had to take the road. Little did they know that their planned show of endearment had been deliberately self-sabotaged, as her political antennae were too sharp to miss the subtle stirrings her popularity was causing among some of the dogmatic members of the party. Additionally, for security reasons, she was also guided by her self-devised practice of occasionally changing her pre-decided program suddenly. And surely, even unknown to herself, she had already upset the designs of a couple of sharpshooters who had slyly sneaked in among the group of her supporters and taken vantage positions at the station. The conference was a great success. Her thoughts and proposals found endorsement from most quarters, especially among the youth. She had climbed up quickly in the party hierarchy in the last 4 years since she had joined as a paid member, chiefly through her dedicated work and ingrained pragmatism. Lakshman Raoji had taken her under his tutelage from the very beginning, and in time had nudged her into the youth wing of the party. In the 2 days conference, she made tremendous inroads in most party forums. The poignancy of her thoughts and clarity of vision on important issues had won her many hearts, particularly among the youth and women. Sure enough, she was co-opted into several important committees. The crowning moment was when at the concluding session, in deference to popular sentiment, Lakshman Raoji himself moved the resolution to appoint her the president of the combined youth and women wing of the party. It was a huge elevation at a very young age, and by virtue of her new position, as per the amended constitution, she was now automatically the member of the Central Committee of the party and also one of its 3 vice presidents. She was fast turning into a mass leader and was within striking range for the top slot. But by dint of her acute intelligence, she also knew that the intrusive media attention that would now follow would be too sudden and too discomforting for many to swallow. Hence, she decided to act on her instincts, and instead of going to her hotel to change for the celebrations, she went straight to Lakshman Raoji's house. Changing into her simple travel gear, she gorged on Thai's hand-cooked delicacies and set off for Mumbai. Her sudden change of plans had taken even Lakshman Raoji completely by surprise, who had been rehearsing his sound bites for the media, emphasizing the paternal pride he felt on her grand promotion. Once again, she had stolen the sheen of the moment by unexpectedly changing her plans to stay at night and participate in the rejoicings and the merrymaking in the party organized for the evening. She had cleverly enacted a phantom call on her cell with her domestic, Bai, to come up with her unimpeachable excuse. Meenu had been suddenly taken ill. She had, of course, also tricked many of her would-be trackers yet again. Just after crossing the city limits, she had boarded another vehicle, her safari supposedly having developed some mechanical problem, had moved into a covered motor repairing shop. After some time, for any persistent pursuer who may have been trailing her on the busy Pune-Mumbai road, she had seemingly fallen off the radar screen altogether. Her new vehicle, as well as the escort jeep, had surreptitiously changed course and were now advancing on Pune-Nasik road. All their mobile phones had also gone out of reach. Midway, she had abandoned the journey and had checked into a nondescript motel belonging to a trusted lieutenant in her other line of work, the line of work bequeathed to her by her husband under rather unwarranted and hazardous circumstances. Late into the night, after calming her nerves with about half an hour's pranayam, she lay back on bed and activated her other cell phone, which she used seldom, and made only one call. The most important call concerning the dilemma she was caught up in. Her husband Harsh was also awake and on his midnight stroll in the jail compound. She told him her decision, the decision she was going to tell Jayant in the morning. Then she slid under the blankets and slowly her eyelids fell for sleep's sensuous embrace.